What
favorite live shows, man?
Yeah, favorite live shows, man. What do you got?
Hands down, the best band I've seen live is Crystal Lake.
I would have bet that that's what you were gonna say, and I haven't seen them. I've just seen videos, but you've talked to me about it before. They seem insane live.
I was with Felix and I was with Sammy too and Dominique. I was with all Nephalite basically, and we were like adamant that it was the best set we've seen ever. Mm-hmm. Like every one of us were like, dude, that was game changer.
That's probably one of the last shows you saw before pandemic hit, right?
Yep. It was with
wasn't it with Era?
Was it? Yeah, Crystal Lake, Era, Currents, and North Lane was headlining.
Right, that's it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It was so good.
That's a pretty stacked bill.
The first band with Crystal Lake, and then Currents plays after.
No way.
Currents is awesome. It's a great metalcore band, but
there's no way Crystal Lake. Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah. I just would have figured that Crystal Lake was a bigger band altogether too. I don't know if it's because they think their market is different here, but I mean, Currents isn't huge by all means.
Yeah, but I mean, since they're from Japan, it was like I think they're maybe their first or even second North American tour. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I mean, all the more reason to put them higher up on the bill. I mean, we've seen it with Depths. Like the first time we went to the US or the first time we've hit certain cities, it's always been like, oh my God, like you guys are from Canada. Like we'll get the same reaction even if we were like in Detroit, which is like an hour away from fucking Canada. But like, there's just something about people thinking you're like you're a bigger band somehow. So that's why I'm saying like Crystal Lake, if it was like their first or second time like coming through, I'm sure a lot of people are seeing them for the first time and probably think they're fucking huge for being from Japan and being touring in the US right now, right? Like way more than Currents. Like
exactly.
I don't know the logistics of all that, but that sounds weird to me. And then if on top of it you're saying that like Crystal Lake was crushing it every night. I mean, poor Currents, man. They probably didn't want to. They probably didn't even want to play after that.
I remember they had like technical issues too, so I think it definitely wasn't their best set. I'd say Architects because it was like the best production I saw in a show like ever. Mm-hmm. It was larger than life. I think this band has achieved this level.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say Counterparts just for the raw energy.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be like because it's it can just be because of feeling, right? Like a best show sometimes is just more about the memory, right?
Yep, it was. I saw them. Actually, I think you were there. It was. But were you? No, I don't think you were. Actually, it was a show with. It was at the Ritz. And it was Counterparts and like the other band of the Counterpart vocalist with Will Putney.
Oh, with the End.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I wasn't there.
Like
but yeah.
And I think the headliner was 18 Visions, something like this.
Okay.
Not sure, but
that's such a niche tour. That's random, but that's pretty cool.
At the Ritz, it was like super packed. It was insane.
Yeah.
Counterparts at the Ritz was crazy. So what's yours?
Mine are kind of, I guess. Okay, I'll just go for it. Underoath was like one of the better shows I've seen. They did they're only chasing after safety. And
you saw this tour?
Yeah. So they were doing those two albums back to back. And like that first album is just I've probably one of the albums I listened to the most in my life. So just seeing it in itself would have been cool, but then the energy in the room was just, I've never had that at another show. Like sold out show. Literally every single person was singing every single lyric from the beginning of the show to the end of the show, like a 2-hour set. It was just,
where was it?
It was in Silver Springs in Maryland. It was like 5.5-ish hours away. It was like I'm pretty sure it was the closest date. The only other date that would have made sense, I think, was Toronto. But it was kind of like the same distance. And I think like Toronto was like on a weekday and Maryland was like on a weekend. So I was like, okay, that's gonna be the one we go to. And we got there like we ran late because of traffic, and we stepped into the venue probably like not even 5 minutes before they started playing their set. So like imagine like Jesus just almost running from your car to get into the venue, and then there's like a line inside. It was like a 21 plus kind of show. And someone we were with didn't have like their passport on them. So they had to like go back to the car, but they had already been checked. And it was like once you go in, you can't go, like once you go back outside, you can't go back in kind of policy.
Ooh,
I don't know if you've ever been to a show like that. Like it's basically so. Like they search you once when you go in, like there's a full search thing. But then if you decide to go back outside, there's like no re-entry. They won't, like if you leave, you leave. They don't want people like going back outside to like smoke a cigarette or whatever. Like it's just like once you're in, you're in, and like that's it. But then they let us in. They searched us and everything. They let us in. And then I think we even gave our tickets. But then the person passed the tickets that was checking IDs was like, well, you don't have our license, like driver's license wasn't enough. Like she needed like absolutely her passport. And then they were about to not let her come back in with her passport. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So by the time all of this is sorted out, man. Like we literally, I think we walked into the room and like the like kind of noise intro kind of started playing like as we stepped into the room. It was completely insane.
I mean, it adds to the anecdote, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. So that's for sure like up there for me. Dance Gavin Dance, I've seen them twice, and they're like by far, I guess, my favorite band of all time.
I never seen them live. I believe they're crazy.
Yeah, really good live. But then again, this is kind of like a circumstance thing. We went to see them in Toronto one of the times, and we were like, fuck it, we're going like front, like barricade style, like we want to be right in front. And we get a spot there, and it's pretty fucking cool because we're like right up, like not against the stage, but like against the gate, like behind the photo pit. And then I just happened to notice a guy that I know that's working photo at the gig. And so we notice each other, and he comes and says hi. And then between two of the first bands, like we start talking. And then while Dance Gavin Dance is playing, he like signals to us. He's like, hey guys, like come here. And like he let us in the front like barricades, like in the photo pit.
Damn, son. That's cool.
Yeah, because he's the house photographer. He's not like just like a hired like photographer that's there for the first 3 songs. He's there.
Yeah.
He works for the venue, and he was like, hey, like yeah, like you guys can come up front here. And we're like, really? Like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, come on. So we were like a little bit off to the side, but like we were like in the front barricade. We had like an even like not necessarily like a crazier, better view than where we were up front, but we weren't touching anyone, right? Like in the front row of the like sold out show, we were like being slammed upon, like sandwiched from every side, and now we were like in front of the barricade, no one touching us. I was like, this is fucking cool. It almost felt weird. Like it brought me back to like watching bands while we were on tour and like playing shows and stuff, because we'd be able to be like side stage or like watching from somewhere where we're not like with a bunch of sweaty people. But I really appreciated that moment on top of Dance Gavin Dance just putting on an awesome show.
Of course, man. It's like the best way to watch a show, like being there, but without the inconvenience.
Yeah, Yeah, and you know, as I get older, I'm like, yeah, I'm all for that. I used to not care about like standing in like on the side of the pit and like kind of having to watch my ass the entire time, but I'm not about that anymore. I have a bit more of a hard time dealing with it.
Well, every time I go to the MTELUS now, not the Metropolis in Montreal, I tend to go upstairs and just sit down and watch the show.
Yeah, that's it. Or I'll even sit further, like stand further in the back where it's like a bit higher up, more like towards the bar and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine from here. It's chill. I see everything. Man. No worries. Yeah, and then I mean, just real quick, I guess, because I couldn't. Those are definitely like two like super standouts for me. But Dark Sermon is one of those bands that we did just like a super short run with them, but their energy that they had live is something that I've always kind of carried with me as a vocalist, and I think that stands true for some of the other guys in Depths as well, where they were just like nonstop energy, especially the singer frontman, just like nonstop energy front to back, and like not talking between songs, just kind of facing their amps, but like going at it like just like a short like 25-minute set, but like all out nonstop. Yeah, that's always kind of
energy.
Yeah, it's just I've always found that to be so cool, and I've just always kind of thrived for that. Ever since witnessing it, I was just like, that's it, like, if I'm going to play metal, that's what I want to look like. Like, that's my kind of vibe.
I remember when we started Nephalite and we were talking about what would be our like energy on stage. And I was like, dude, we just go up there, like, don't say anything, just like do our thing, like intense energy.
Yeah, just focused. Fuck shit up.
Yeah, exactly. Not like, hey, what's up, everyone? Yeah, we don't want that epic side, you know. We want the dark, the heavy, and I think it's. I never seen a Dark Sermon show, but it feels like it's what you just said.
Yeah. They kind of changed over the course of their like albums afterwards. Kind of brought some props and staging into the mix as well. But it still remains like a super intense show from start to finish. Johnny, their singer, is just an incredible frontman that just knows how to move and like command a crowd without even really having to call much out. I've always believed that, like, you, especially being a frontman, like you definitely feed off of the energy of the crowd, but it goes both ways. I think a lot of people have it wrong, where they think that it's only like the people on stage that can feed off of the fans. But I definitely think, and I mean, from experience, definitely seen some shows where I've played where I've gone all out, even though the crowd was fucking sleeping for the bands before us, and same amount of people in the room, same awkwardness because there's not that many people and stuff like that. And for whatever reason, those people start moving around. And I don't think it has to do necessarily with the fact that our music was that much more movable or like cooler or played better, but I think the energy,
it's give and take.
The energy really has to do with it, and that's something we've always strived for when we played shows, and for myself personally, and yeah, like I said, I think that really comes from some early Dark Sermon shows that we were able to witness.
That's cool, man. That's great. I have to listen to him. I think I never listened to him, actually.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you're in for a treat. I think that's, especially their later albums, I think are actually right in your kind of genre. They do go a lot more kind of black metal-y, a lot more kind of feely, kind of lingering kind of riffs and stuff. I think you would really enjoy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.